Bite Me. It's from Naomi John. Harsh to the... Excuse me, do you mind? Thank you. Long time no see. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a full face of e.l.f. makeup because I am quite surprised and shocked how much e.l.f. I have. This is full to the brim. It's not the biggest bag, makeup bag that I actually own, but still this is pretty damn full. And I was like, since I have so much e.l.f., let's crack on and actually do a full face of e.l.f. makeup. First things first, this is the life, behind the scene life of a fringe owner. This is gonna be me in majority of videos. It's so funny, but if I split the fringe on the sides, I always am left with a gap, so this is going to be it. We have palettes, primers, lipstick, eyeshadow, like so much e.l.f. The only things that I'm missing is a concealer and an eyeliner, but that's about it. Oh, and foundation, but you're gonna see what I'm improvising with. And a lip liner too. Do e.l.f. Cosmetics do lip liners? Because I've never seen it, so I'm wondering. So first things you can tell I haven't done this in ages. First things first, I'm gonna do my brows with the brow lift. I sometimes want to call this brow frizz because it is indeed a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow frizz, but this is a fraction of the price, and they also duped the utensils, and I am quite in love with this tool, whether I'm using this one from e.l.f. or other kind of like brow lift, similar texture. Boots has one. Essentially, Boots do one a bit slightly cheaper than this one. However, in time I realized both are very similar. I thought initially the Boots one sets a bit faster than the e.l.f. one, but with time I realized they're quite the same thing. What I'm trying to say is, with this kind of a product, don't expect it to make your brows stay in place for like ages with like rainy weather, be like, oh, my brows are still gonna be on fleek. The reason why I love this product is because it's so easy, quick, on the go, with like a work lifestyle, which I'm quite in that position where I'm waking up in the morning at like 8 and I'm like, oh my god, I have to be ready in like 30 minutes. And I don't have time for a got-to-be situation where you have to clean around the brows, make sure nothing is left, because otherwise it's gonna break the foundation. If I actually have time to put foundation, that's something that we're gonna get there. So I actually really love this product. It's just I wouldn't use it for like a night out when I actually have 2 hours worth of my time to get ready and make sure like my brows are literally glued to the gods. But you can see it's a gorgeous product. I really still love it. I'm still gonna purchase it. Now we are moving to proper eyes, and I have a new product in here, actually two. So this palette was a limited edition Cookies and Dreams palette. I already have a full video onto the collection. I'm not quite sure if everything is still available anymore. However, I just want to say I wasn't that impressed with this palette. It's alright, it's not like bad, but I don't reach for it as much as you would like when you spend, I think this was £10, which is not cheap. I don't think it's cheap for, like, it was good, but I wouldn't see myself paying again £10 for this particular one. However, I got these ones actually through work, and I was really damn impressed, because obviously this was my first ever palette from e.l.f. and I was a bit bittersweet about it. Like, I felt I would have never like thought to buy something else in the sense of like eyeshadow from e.l.f. just because I was like, yeah, they're cheap, but I didn't feel they are worth it. However, these guys really changed my perspective. Like, look at the swatches. Oh my god, they are so good. Like, I mean, I'm still impressed on how they look like on the viewfinder. It's just like, they are actually really nice. Should I swatch them here? Like maybe a tiny bit. Like, look at that! Can you see them? For a second I thought I'm not in the shot. Like, That's so bloody good. Anyway, I'm gonna swatch everything. Like, the only reason why I'm not swatching the Cookies and Dreams is because I already have a video and I'm not even quite sure if you can still purchase it. So this one that I swatched is Berry Bath, and the next one is going to be Cream and Sugar. These are so buttery. These are £4. Impressive. Like, so good. It's just they are really worth £4. Look at that. But what we are gonna use today is the new £10 Perfect 10 eyeshadows. Apparently this has the same formula as the Bite Me palettes. Now this is literally me in a palette. So starting off with the mattes, when it comes to this palette, they are really pigmented. So far what I've used, they were actually quite a hit. And blending wise, amazing. It goes the same around with the bite-sized palettes, with the tiny ones, so I can definitely see a similarity in terms of like the formula within the mattes. When it comes to shimmers, I feel I haven't tried as many small like Bite Me eyeshadows from e.l.f. So I'm not quite sure when it comes to like glitter finishes, if there are any existent ones in the tiny ones, if they are the same as this one. But this has some kind of like glittery, a bit chunky to the finger feeling sort of shades. They don't pick up nicely with the brush, that's for sure. I had to pick majority of them with my fingers. Even the shimmers, I felt they look much nicer with the finger rather than the brush. But at the same time, I feel it's the same case with e.l.f. Bite Me, like the tiny ones. Are they called Bite Me? Bite size. Bite Me, it's from Naomi John bloody Julia. If you're a Naomi John fan, you already can tell that was my head headed to the Bite Me song and the perfume. Bite-sized palettes. So the actual shimmers in the bite-sized palettes, I do tend to get them with my finger, pure out of time. Not even that. They don't necessarily pick up nice with the brush, but I usually use them for work, and I generally don't have time in the morning. I am a quick on-the-go rush kind of gal when I work in office, because I work hybrid. That's the kind of like overall feeling, but I am not mad, you guys. I feel this palette is definitely gonna be a staple for like going somewhere, traveling, because I have everything in here. The black was really pigmented, and yeah, I quite like it. I went a bit messy because I tried a plethora of colors. Now onto a dupe sensation. We have the e.l.f. Lash Roll Lock and Roll Lash and Roll Mascara. I haven't tried this one at all, ever. I didn't even realize the brush is like shaped as such. So let's see, let's see if I can use the actual curved bit. So I'm using it as such. So it's definitely giving me length and curl. It's a nice mascara. No, I actually like it. I really do. I'm trying, oh, here we go. I was trying to find this one. No, it actually gives me like a really nice curve and makes the lashes like a very Barbie doll effect. The way it grips my lashes. I tried the purple one. That is a very popular one. It has a very thick brush compared to this one. And I was not obsessed with that. Because I feel with my lashes, they are so tiny and inexistent. They're like a plasticky wand, tiny, like a grip as tiny as this one works much better on my lashes than like a thick bristle brush. Now, I guess we are moving on to face. Cause yeah, I mean, these two guys are liquid eyeshadows, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I'm not very obsessed with the formula. They don't set that quickly. Maybe I don't know how to use them because everybody raves about them online, but I didn't have much nice experience with them in a sense of they are too much hustle to work around them. They are working if you have patience for them to dry, and if you apply them in a very small, thin layer. And I had it one time when this one destroyed my actual eyeshadow underneath, and I was like, oh, who does want that? I think the only way I can see them working really fast, quick on the go, is maybe under the eye. Should I try that instead? But okay, I can use them underneath the eye area. I can feel them already setting. Maybe for that. But still, I wouldn't repurchase them unless I figure out a way to actually make a good use out of them. Now we are finally moving to the skin. So the thing that I'm gonna improvise today is with this bad boy. We have the Halo Glow liquid filter. This is amazing. This is my all-time favorite product, and I'm gonna use it as a foundation. You can use it obviously as a primer, but I'm gonna use it as foundation. However, if you want like a more skincare benefit to it, this one, which is from the e.l.f. Skin, Suntouchable SPF 30 sunscreen, Whoa Glow. This one, it has the exact same finish as this one, to be completely fairly honest with you. This has SPF, so I would rather suggest people grab this one if you only want to use this without like a foundation. And even with the foundation, I don't know, it's just like these two are quite similar in what they do. I feel you could be alright only with this one. And I also have these primers. These two guys, one of them I got it gifted at Superdrug Presents, and the other one I got it gifted with an e.l.f. order, so both of them were gifted. While with these two guys, Cookies and Dreams collection, because I actually loved this one. So I purchased this guy because I love this guy, and I already had one of these ages ago. I've used it up, I got a backup, but then they released this one and I was like, I can't keep my hands off of this. It's not empty. I haven't used this one in a while because I have way too many other options and I quite prefer this one. I think I'm gonna use one of these on my skin before the Halo Glow. So I think I'm gonna go with the new one, Power Grip Primer, 4% niacinamide, because I had this one in the mint flavor. My coworker, she swears by this one in pink. She loves it more than the green one. And I really want to see what is the deal with this guy. It does have a niacinamide in it. And I remember specifically she was so, yeah, it's the same as the one, the mint one. Because I tested that one out. But I remember specifically, I wasn't obsessed with the mint one. I did like it, but I didn't grab it as much as, for example, my co-worker friend is like, she's obsessed. She was so upset that it was like sold out and she couldn't find it in Superdrug stores, and neither in not e.l.f., sorry, Boots. So when they restocked it to the one that is near work, she bought two. The only reason why I didn't give her this is because I never tried it, but I had two of these and I was like, you know what? Let me grab you one of these. Just as a emergency situation type of, don't waste the money on this one, the big version, since I already have two, I can give you one. So but she still went ahead with this guy. I mean, it feels the same as the one that is in green. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a matter of like testing it out for a longer period of time to see if it's any different than the green one. But now I'm gonna go with the Halo Glow liquid filter. I love it so much. It's quite actually empty. You can see in, here we go. You can see like I can swirl the product around because it's quite like half empty, if not more. Next, one of my faves is also the e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush, which is apparently a dupe for the IT Cosmetics one. I really wanted to splurge on the IT Cosmetics one, and thankfully they finally restocked this one, but I'm gonna break it to you, it's sold out again. Now I love this stuff so much, and I kind of embraced no foundation days, because again, I would rather sleep than spend a million years on my makeup. It's not that I don't enjoy it, it's just I enjoy more sleep. The weekend is a 2-hour session, always. With this primer, what I can notice is like I have to dab rather than drag, because I feel like if I'm dragging, I can feel the primer being like, don't do it, I don't like it. It feels like sticky to a point where like if I'm dragging too much, it's not gonna work in my favors. Yeah, I am glowing to the gods. Obviously, I don't leave it like this. It's too glowy even for me. But it allows me to kind of like set what I want it, like what I want less glow, but still look glowy, if that makes sense. It's just like, I don't know, I love this. And it is indeed a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one, because I had a sample and I tried it and they're identical. Anyway, I have two powders. So one of them is the Halo Glow Setting Powder. I really love this range. I also have the Setting Powder Puff. Not my all-time favorite, but I don't dislike it. It's 4 bloody damn pounds. I have another one with 12 pounds and something, which is a bit nicer, a bit more velvety, but this one does wonders as well. With this powder, this is the Camo Powder Foundation Powder. So I'm gonna try to kind of like conceal my eyes with this guy. I don't necessarily love this. If I put too much, it's a deal breaker for me, because I have quite normal to dry skin, but it is indeed very full coverage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get like a quite big brush. I don't like it with this thingy. I tried it and it's just like it packs too much for me, given that the powder is also very full coverage. So what I'm gonna do is like take a tiny bit and see if my hack works. Yeah, no, it's alright. I think it definitely illuminates my skin because it's quite light. I would prefer this powder in a darker, what is it called, darker color, because I feel it illuminates to the gods to a point where I'm like, I'm not quite sure if I like it. You know, no, I quite like it. It is very illuminating, but I need to make sure I illuminate this T-zone as well. It doesn't seem drying to a point where it looks too heavy. It definitely doesn't look as natural as with the Halo Glow powder. That is much more like smoothing and like just untraceable. But like, I don't mind this one either. Now I'm gonna close this guy for a second and get this instead. So this system actually protects your powder to get messy. It's just I depotted way too much last time when I did my makeup and I had to save it. So that's why it's quite messy. I just powder my T-zone really. As a matter of fact, this would be my top drugstore recommendation. Now I'm trying to illuminate. So how dumb am I? I have the e.l.f. Putty bronzers and the Putty blush. So I have 2 shades in the Putty bronzer and 1 shade in the blush. I have Feeling Shady and Tan Lines, and for this one is Keiko something. And I also have the Jelly highlighter, which I do think is discontinued. I'm still gonna use it, but my first ever highlighter from e.l.f. is this little guy that I'm sure you've seen all over the internet, Moonlight Pearls. I haven't used this one in ages, so I'm curious how do I feel about it. So I think I might use it to set the liquid version. Anyway, I'm gonna use shade Tan Lines because it's summer. And what I'm gonna do is like take the foundation brush and use the concealer side to contour. I didn't set right here, but I kind of went with a powder much more far away than I usually do. So what I usually do is like I set my T-zone and my under eye area and I leave the rest at last, but I got carried away. Anyway, we're gonna figure it out. Oh my god, I have something in my nose. So I'm gonna use this side, and because I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow in there, that's gonna help out to smooth properly the product. No, that's beautiful. It is so beautiful. You know what? Overall, e.l.f. is quite good. I am very much in love with their products. It's a shame that I never used the foundation and concealer. We are left to the blush. Again, this is something that I used. This is the color. This brush is so good. Like, I can use it for everything and anything. I have another one in my work brush holder. And you know what? It's not bad on top of like the powder I added in here. It's not bad. Not bad at all. But I do tap, you can see. Now onto the jelly highlighter. I remember this one I did love. What I think I'm gonna do is like take it with my finger, really. Ooh. And again, I'm using the same brush. I've learned this hack from Nicola Rose, who said you shouldn't be afraid of using the same brush for your contour bronzer, contour/bronzer, and blush and highlighter. Look at that. No, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It takes a tiny bit of time to kind of like settle into the skin just because it was my fault. It's on powder. I did move a bit my foundation. No! So how are we gonna rectify it? By just applying a powder on top. It was my fault, so do bear that in mind, because I've already tried the highlighter, the liquid one, and it was really good actually. I quite like this highlighter now. I used to not love it so much just because it was quite subtle for my liking, but now that I'm more into the subtle game, I do like it. Okay, I think we are left with lips and that's it. So I have a coconut bite size lip balm. So it is called the bite size range. Now it's confirmed. I never tried this one, so I think we're gonna do it now. I'm curious if it smells like coconut. Oh, it smells nice. It does have some color actually. Yeah, you can definitely use this one as a highlighter as well. But it definitely is very nourishing. And I love the fact that it has a color because so many people are raving about the pink one, you know? Anyway, we are taking this one off just because we actually have some lipsticks. I have these two glosses. This one is my favorite. Well, with this one, it's a plumping gloss. And this, I think I tried it only once. I don't remember how hard it stings. It's a very nice, very subtle color. Like you can barely see it. This lipstick is so good. It's actually the format that I was expecting from it. It is quite glossy, shiny. I definitely look like a vampire. And I kind of love it. The Romanian in me is screaming. Anyway, it's just like a nice formula. It is not slippery. It is matte, but glossy in a sense of like, it just has a healthy shine to it. It's shade Smolder. The thing is, I've always wanted a lipstick as such, like this particular, like very vampy color. But I only used to find it at Elf drugstore. But I only used to find it at MAC Cosmetics, About Face, or like high-end brands where you would buy one for like 16, 17, 20 pounds. This was not the cheapest out of them all, you know? It's 9 pounds, but the packaging is magnetic. And you know, it's a formula. It's a formula. It is a nice formula. It is a formula. It is a very nice formula. It's not slippery. It is matte. It is shiny. It's hydrating. It is a lipstick that I'm afraid to eat with it. But hey, life has to be dangerous sometimes. And I would risk my mouth around with a sandwich, a burger, because the lipstick is gorgeous. So yeah, that is it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!